These are bold statements, but after you listen to these stories, you're going to understand how chiropractic helped a woman to sing again and how chiropractic helped a man to buy a truck. We also have some really great tidbits about using referrals and having professionals, even in the medical field, who are referring new patients to you as a chiropractor. I'm Jenna Quentin, founder of Adjust Your Media and host of What Chiropractic Doesn't Cure, Stories of Innate podcast. And this is a great episode, and there's more good stuff in the show notes, so stay tuned. So today on What Chiropractic Doesn't Cure, Stories of Innate podcast, I have Dr. Chase Dyess, and I would love for you to tell a story. Tell us somebody whose life improved with chiropractic care.
Thanks, Jenna. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm humbled by the fact that chiropractic helps so many people. And I think the number one thing for us to realize with chiropractic care is the fact that we don't do any of the healing. The body has stressors that are put on it, mental, physical, chemical stress, and it causes the frame of the body, the spine that surrounds the spinal cord, that sends the signals from the brain to the body to shift out of alignment. And we call that a subluxation. So when a bone subluxates, it interferes with the signal from the brain to the body. And as a chiropractor, it's as simple as this. I take bones that are out of alignment and adjust them back into alignment to restore that proper nerve flow. And when nerve flow is restored, then the body can heal from all different types of things. So the most recent story I heard was actually, I want to say yesterday. And I had a lady come in that just started care last week. And I'm hesitant to tell this story because she just started last week. And everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to go see a chiropractor. They're going to pop my back and everything's going to be better. But she had some severe TMJ issues and was sent to us from a local dentist. And we saw her and we did a consult, an exam. We took some x-rays and we figured out what exactly was going on. And I adjusted her again on Tuesday, and she explained to me that she was able to sing for the first time in church in years. And that was a really, really, really big deal for her. So that's one of the most recent stories that I can think of.
That's really beautiful to think giving somebody their song back. We don't realize how our voice has been silenced emotionally, physically, but to get your song back, that's a really big deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So a few other things is, I practice corrective chiropractic care. So we work on restoring posture. And I had a patient a few years ago named Michael come in, and Michael was in his 30s, early 30s, and he had so much anxiety that he wasn't able to go to like family gatherings and social functions. It even got to a point where he wanted to get a new vehicle, a new truck, but he just couldn't go through the process of going to get a new vehicle. It was debilitating for him. So we ended up seeing Michael and taking care of him for a while. And we were able to restore his posture, but more importantly, take tension off his spinal cord. And that really alleviated a lot of his mental conditions, a lot of his stress, his anxiety, and he was able to function again. And I actually have a really cool shadow box in my office of Michael with his new truck. And it's just so cool to see him be a member of society again and be able to do things like go buy a new vehicle. That's another story that comes to mind.
Yeah, that is really cool because it is the quality of life. And with posture, you told me something years ago. It's probably been 5 or 6 years where I had written something about the body adapting, and you said, no, wait a minute. A subluxation is the body can't adapt anymore. The subluxation and posture is the body can't adapt as it should. And that has stuck with me for a long time to think about, oh, the posture, the poor posture, the shoulders rolled forward or the head, forward head carriage. Your body is adapting to a problem, but it's actually that the body can't adapt as it should. And I find
Yeah.
that fascinating.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't realize that I impacted you like that. Yeah, so that's exactly right. When the posture breaks down, the body can no longer adapt, and therefore you subluxate with your inability to adapt to overall stress. So, yeah, definitely.
And I think with posture, it's such an interesting thing because we think a lot of times that it's cosmetic and we don't realize that it's actually functional.
Absolutely. Yeah, God gave us curves in our spine to act as springs and be more resilient to gravity. And when you start to lose those proper curves and it starts to put tension on your spinal cord and bones start to subluxate and shift out of alignment, it can cause major, major issues. So that's why at Trinity Chiropractic, I chose to not only adjust subluxations to restore nerve flow, but also correct posture because long term, I want these people to be able to adapt. I want them to be able to hold their adjustment and to do what they want in life, as opposed to coming in and me pounding on their spine for the rest of their life, 2 or 3 times a week because they had symptoms. I'd like to get them to where we've actually corrected the underlying cause and it holds and stays in place.
Yes. So I want to go back to, you said something interesting. You said that a dentist had referred that lady recently.
hmm
I think that that's a underappreciated thing for chiropractors is that you can have other professionals who are referring to you. And that's really cool that a dentist would say, "Hey, you've got to go see a chiropractor."
Yeah. So one thing that I do in my office, a little tidbit, is I develop relationships with medical doctors, dentists, orthopedics. And what we do is we go in and we tell them about the benefits of chiropractic and how co-managing these patients can really help. And when it comes to TMJ issues, there's a huge gap. They go to a general dentist and they'll give them some exercises or they'll fit them for a night guard or a mouthpiece to try to keep the jaw to hold and stay in place. But what we found is when you lose the cervical curve in your spine, it puts a ton of tension on the muscles in your neck, upper cervical spine, and it affects the tracking of your jaw. So without restoring the cervical curve and working on the muscles and realigning the jaw, putting it back in alignment, the tracking of that jaw never improves. And the gap from general dentistry to surgery that's what it is. So we're working on filling that gap to where we can restore cervical curve, get proper tracking of the jaw, and allow the body to heal itself, you know?
Yeah, that is really cool because there are so many things where conditions or symptoms where it gets a blanket statement or nobody really knows who specializes in that. And I think
hmm
that there does need to be more awareness that chiropractors are a excellent place to refer people to get to the source. You also mentioned that you do a thorough exam and x-rays, and I think that not enough people realize that chiropractors like yourself are so specific in
Yeah.
your evaluation.
Yeah, a couple things. I mean, a lot of chiropractors don't do x-rays, which is mind-boggling to me. I like to see what's going on and what I need to adjust based not only off their x-rays, but a neurological evaluation. I use torque release technique, neurological evaluation to determine what they need to get adjusted. But on the other token, when you go to a medical doctor, not a dentist, but a medical doctor, and you explain to them the consultation, evaluation, and x-rays that you take, they see chiropractic in a different light. And a lot of chiropractors think that medical doctors hate us or they don't want to send us people. And I'd say they definitely have a different philosophy than us. But I will tell you one thing that they do want to get people better. And there's a ton of sick people with musculoskeletal issues. I know chiropractic can do so much more than musculoskeletal. There's a ton of sick people that they don't know what to do with.
Hmm.
They're giving them anti-inflammatories. They're giving them, you know, opioids if they have to. They don't give as many opioids as they used to. And when you come in and you offer a solution to co-manage with a medical doctor to help someone with their neck pain, their headaches, their lower back pain, sciatica. Once again, I know chiropractic is so much more than that, but typically that's the ticket to the show. People these days are in pain and they want to be out of pain. Back during BJ's time, of course, they went for, malaria or viruses, which is great. And they see improvements with those things in the office. If you want to see more people that are desperate to get better and get off medication, and I haven't found one patient tell me, I want to take more medication. Every one of them wants to get off. Then go talk to these medical doctors and tell them about how you can help.
Excellent. Agreed. I love that you use the word co-manage. That just feels like such a great philosophy to explain to somebody who could, another professional who could refer to you, that you're not trying to say, oh, what you're doing is bad and I'm going to steal your patients. Like
Mhm.
co-manage is such a great word for that relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I know we could keep talking for a long time and you have so many more stories, but I am going to put some links in the show notes. I just saw a great study today about x-rays and patient outcomes in chiropractic, so I'll put that in the show notes. I'm also going to put some links where they can find you and talk more with you. It's always great to find somebody who is able to explain things well and share more about what you're doing in chiropractic.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the opportunity.